What does that mean to you, Black History Month?
It means that that's racism because they don't celebrate White History Month. We don't have it. I'm part Italian. I don't have Italian History Month. So what I think it's doing is perpetuating what this divide is in our nation, quite honestly, because I don't feel like that should be highlighted. I don't think that they should be pushing their agenda on myself because I'm a straight male, I have a wife, and I have children. I don't think that I should have to be bombarded and brainwashed through media, through those months or Pride, Black History. I don't think that's something that should be, dictated to me.
Is it a learning opportunity?
Not at all, because when I was in school, we learned, certain Black leaders, things like that. I don't need to hear it every single year for a whole month.
When Donald Trump's inauguration was approaching, I shared a lot of the companies that were making gifts to his inauguration committee. However, not all those gifts at the time were public like they are now. So let's take a look at some of the companies that did not publicly say they donated to the inauguration, but now they've appeared in official donation receipts. The founder of Jimmy John's restaurant donated $3.1 million to Trump's inauguration. Robert Johnson, the owner of the New York Jets, donated $2.7 million. Bernard Marcus, the former CEO of Home Depot, also donated $2.7 million. J. Joe Ricketts of TD Ameritrade donated $2 million. Roger Penske of Penske Corporation donated $1.1 million. Steve Wynn, owner of Wynn Resorts, donated $1.1 million. Bayer and Johnson & Johnson each donated $1 million. Verizon, AT&T, and Comcast all donated $1 million. Uber also donated $1 million. PayPal and Coca-Cola each donated $250,000. And Instacart and Airbnb each donated $100,000. Keep these brands in mind when you're shopping.
In the Senate now, at the end of the vote, when the Republicans won, they cheered. They cheered over taking away health care from around 17 million people. They cheered over giving huge tax breaks to a handful of billionaires. They cheered over running up the national debt by another $3.5 trillion. This bill is bad. It's bad economically. It's bad morally. This bill is just wrong. But we stay in the fight. We stay in the fight. We stay in the fight. And we proved why we stay in the fight, because actually there are pieces of this bill that we got better. We got the tax on solar and wind knocked out, and that's going to help with clean energy. We got a few different pieces and made them better. So that's reason number one. It's always the reminder. All of those calls mattered. Reason number two is it's still not over. The bill has now got to go back over to the House. And there are a lot of Republicans who are feeling really squeamish about this bill at this point. So that means we got to stay in the fight. And reason number three is, they may do this now, but come November 2026, they're going to have to face the voters. They're going to have to face the people, the families of the people whose health care they took away. And they're going to have to explain exactly what they just did just now on the floor of the United States Senate and whatever they do next. So this is hard, but damn, we stay in the fight. We stay in it, not because it's an easy fight, not because we're guaranteed to win every time. We stay in it because it's the right fight.
So here's what just happened that should be screaming across every headline. The Trump administration just issued a memo to the Department of Justice telling them to start prioritizing civil denaturalization. And that means revoking citizenship from naturalized Americans, people who became citizens legally, if the government believes that they got that citizenship fraudulently or pose a security threat. And sure, the memo claims that this is only for the worst of the worst, like war criminals, terrorists, gang members, and has been done historically. And that sounds fair in theory. But here's the catch. Once a naturalized citizen is targeted for civil denaturalization, they don't get a public defender. It's not a criminal case. You're just stripped of your citizenship in a civil court with no automatic right to a lawyer. And this opens the door to some seriously dangerous territory, because now the executive branch, meaning Trump's DOJ, gets to decide who counts as a fraudulent citizen. And once you're denaturalized, guess what? You're deportable. So this raises huge constitutional concerns. Who decides what counts as fraud? What counts as a threat? Are certain communities, especially immigrants of color, going to be disproportionately targeted? And what happened to due process? And let's not forget that citizenship is supposed to be the final stop in the immigration journey. You don't just undo it like an Amazon return. So when you zoom out, this is part of a pattern. Trump's already signed executive orders targeting birthright citizenship, and now this. So we're watching the erosion of what citizenship means in real time. So if you're thinking, well, this doesn't affect me, you should ask yourself, if the government can take someone else's citizenship, what makes yours safe? So you should call your representatives, ask them where they stand, and if you're a naturalized citizen or you love someone who is, this isn't just politics, this is your life. Citizenship is supposed to be permanent.
Did anybody else know that in 2021 the UN voted to make food a basic human right and only 2 countries voted against it? America and Israel, of course, the biggest haters of humanity on earth.
You know what Christians and the Jewish people have in common? And it's not all of them. It's the Zionists, because yes, there's Zionist Christians too. It's not just Jewish people. They all hide behind religion, so all their followers believe they're good people. And this goes for Israel, America, because none of you are real Jewish people and real Christians. You're just pieces of shit hiding behind religion. Because the Zionists is a political movement that was made in 1800s. And they used the religion to manipulate the masses, which here we are today. And it's funny how these white asshole Jewish people are saying they're the chosen people. No, the fuck you're not. You know who the chosen people are? The black community. They're the actual Jews. I mean, what's getting to reality of it all? Because Israel and America are literally the same thing, because it's just full of white assholes who hide behind religion. Because the things that Israel is doing is literally what the British, the Europeans did to America, where the Hispanics in the black community brought these people in with open arms to help them. And then what happens? You all turned on them. And now you want to play victim when people fight back. That's what a lot of white people do, is they play victim when people fight back. I mean, look at Israel. They're crying for America's help because they are the bullies, and now their people are fighting back, and now they want America's soldiers to help them. They've been wanting America's help since the 1940s, and America's been helping them. That's why I find it hilarious when militaries always say, "We're protecting my people." You're protecting Israel. You've been protecting them since the fucking 40s. You've been helping them colonize Gaza. I mean, if you go look at videos of Gaza getting destroyed by Israel, you can see these white fuckers like smiling, happy, as they don't give a fuck about these people. It's racism. It's literally what it is. It's literally racism and white colonizing. And what, you know, it's funny too, because during the 40s, the Arabs at first was bringing the Jews over there, the white Jews, with open arms, kind of like America, where the black community and Hispanics had their arms open and helped them. And what do these white Jews do? Try to destroy them to take their land too. This is where Christianities are a bunch of assholes too. But they think they're following Jesus, but you're enjoying Gaza getting destroyed, which is Jesus' fucking hometown. You be the same motherfuckers, the Jews and the Christians be the same people that would kill Jesus if he's here today, but somehow you follow him. And this is why a lot of people are becoming Holocaust deniers, because you fake ass empathy white people try to play victim with this shit. It's getting annoying, Because you know what? Because when the black community talks about slavery and stuff, you tell them to get over. You know what? Get over the Holocaust. And it shows too, because a lot of you are so plagued by the Holocaust, because 60 million people died. Let's use our fucking thinking brains here. You think you think these countries could afford these 60 million people? Every single country would be able to afford to bring them back to their families? No. So they most likely burned them. What makes you not think these pictures were from the soldiers who died in the war? We're so focused on these one group of people. I mean, I'm not saying it didn't happen, but these white-ass Jews love to hide behind that. And so if you call them out, you're somehow a Holocaust denier. Somehow you hate Jews. This is what people are getting annoyed with. This is why people are leaving Christianity. People are getting annoyed with the Jews, because you're all just victim white-ass people who pretend to have empathy. Because when you bring up something in the 1940s where Israel was slaughtering people in Gaza before World War II was happening, somehow people look over that. 20,000 people. But people look over that. And so you're worried about these white people. Kind of like the South Africa issue. People were attacking them. Oh, bring them over. Help the white people. But it was colored people. Oh, who cares? If Israel was full of colored people, you wouldn't care. Let's face facts here. White people are a bunch of ignorant assholes, and they play victim when people fight back. And speaking of Jesus, this is why a lot of white people think, oh, Jesus is white. The dude came from fucking Gaza, so he's obviously Arab. Why a lot of you think white people are the chosen ones because you're special. It's actually the black community. You want to believe that because of the color of their skin.
I've said it before and I'll say it as many times as it needs saying, okay? Trump voters are either highly, highly uneducated or fundamentally bad people. Either they don't understand the issues and they're voting on something they don't understand, or they do understand the issues and they understand that by voting for Trump they will harm people and they do it anyway, making them a bad person. Or there's a third category, which is that you are willfully ignoring every piece of data that contradicts your viewpoint, making you a fucking idiot, right? And I had hoped that during the first Trump presidency, that when people's lives got worse, they would become educated by the fact that their lives had become worse under Trump. The problem is he didn't actually get that much done in his first presidency, right? A lot of it was struck down by the courts. A lot of it was at very targeted groups who weren't voting for him anyway, right? A lot of it got overturned the second Biden took office. So what I'm fearful for, and what gives me a bit of hope, is I'm fearful that Trump's second term will be much more effective. That he will have the courts on his side.
What if ICE deportations are hiding something darker than we think? There's a man in Colorado, Alvin, who says his brother was deported by ICE, but Alvin thinks his brother is dead. Alvin has friends who work with military private contractors, and one high-ranking friend told him something wild. They're being paid to drop people into the ocean, not fly them back to their countries. Not randomly, they do it in shark-feeding areas. Alvin says when these planes go off radar, that's when the drop happens. He's trying to raise awareness by sharing flight info and tracking radar patterns. Because if any of this is true, it's massive. This wouldn't be a deportation story. This would be something worse. He even referenced Argentina's death flights from the 1970s. I don't know if Alvin's right, but this deserves more eyes. Track the planes, check the logs, and ask the hard question. What's really happening during these ICE deportations?
It's almost the 4th of July, the victory day of our independence. But here's the thing, we're not free. Why celebrate? Why celebrate a clear lie? As our Constitution has been violated over 17 times. 17 times, and that's just during Donald Trump's second presidency. Why celebrate? There's nothing to celebrate. Celebrate the fact that families are being torn apart. Celebrate the fact that we're funding wars that we have no business being in. Celebrate the fact that we're going to be sending young men off to fight wars for old men. Think about what you're gonna celebrate this 4th of July. And think hard about it.
We have some news right now. Donald Trump's nominee to run the office of special counsel, a 30-year-old man, has previously said, according to K-File and CNN, that straight white men are the most intelligent demographic group and should be prioritized in education. This new report published this morning by CNN also shows that Paul Ingrassia also shared a 9/11 truther video last year on 9/11. He has ties to Nick Fuentes, who is a known Holocaust denier, a racist, misogynist, etc. And now in a new video uncovered by CNN, you had Ingrassia literally saying that straight white men are the smartest group and should be prioritized. This is the man that Donald Trump nominated to be the head of Office of Special Counsel, which is responsible for investigating federal employees. Remember, he still has to be confirmed by the United States Senate, so we'll see if Republicans in the Senate take this and reject his nomination. But this is real. So spread the word and follow along, stay up to date on all the news you need to know about. I'll have much more to come very soon.
All of the companies and individuals who donated to Trump's inauguration campaign have now been released to public record. I listed some of these yesterday, however, there's a lot more to be named. Just when we thought we couldn't get any more upset with Target, here's a bombshell. They donated $1 million to Donald Trump's inauguration this year. In comparison, Walmart only gave $150,000. You know who else gave $1 million to the inauguration? The Heritage Foundation. Some other shocking donations: FedEx, Anheuser-Busch, and the brand Hims each donated $1 million. Pepsi, Live Nation, and Harley-Davidson all donated $500,000. Spotify donated $150,000. And Royal Caribbean donated $100,000. Stay tuned as I'll be posting more of the companies that made donations this year. It's a long list, unfortunately, so stay with me.
I mean, they're voting. They're voting now on this fucking bill, while the rest of the developed world, while every other developed country on planet Earth provides health care for their citizens, like fully, something we've never done in America. While every other developed country does that, our Congress is voting to literally give Americans less health care. If you're on Medicaid, 13 to 17 million people will be kicked off of it. If you're a caregiver and you're funded through Medicaid, you just lost your job. If you're a hospital and 30 to 40% of your income comes from Medicaid, which is true for a lot of rural hospitals, you're going to have to close down because businesses close when they lose 30 to 40% of their income. If SNAP benefits are getting cut, if you're a supermarket and 30 to 40% or more of your income comes from SNAP, you're going to have to close. If you receive SNAP, you might get kicked off of it. This is what our country's doing while every other developed country on earth takes care of their people. And why are we doing it? This is not even a joke. We're doing it to give tax cuts to billionaires, to increase funding for Department of Homeland Security, more specifically for ICE, as well as there's a bunch of other stuff hidden in this bill that's to the benefit of large corporations so that rich people get more rich. There's also stuff hidden in this bill that, will make it easier for Donald Trump to do dictatorial shit. Guys, it's over, bro. The reason that Donald Trump called this one big, beautiful bill, listen to me, I want you to understand something. Donald Trump has signed the least amount of legislation than any president prior to him in the last 100 plus years. He has been basically ruling by executive order since he took office. He's only been focused on one bill, one big, beautiful bill. The reason for that is this bill has all of his autocratic bullshit jammed in it, and he has basically given the Republicans an ultimatum: get on board or get kicked out of the cult. And they're all doing it. They're all talking a big game, but they're not doing shit. They're not voting no. You see, it went from the House to the Senate. Now it's back at the House. It's been at the House less than 24 hours. It's already on vote. So, listen, mark the day down, July 2nd. I think this will be the day when history is written that will officially mark the end of the American democratic experiment. Sorry.
A couple months ago, I ran into former DHS Secretary Mayorkas, and I asked him a couple questions about his disastrous handling of the border. He didn't like my questions. But the number one question that I heard from people in responding to my video was, why hasn't he been arrested yet? Obviously you guys are cleaning up the mess that was made deliberately for the past 4 years, and so people want accountability. It's great to see that the border is secured, and it's great to see the state level cooperation. But I guess I would ask you, why hasn't he been held accountable, or anybody really?
Well, pardons were given out by to many people, and they shouldn't have been given out. Like the Unselect Committee of Political Thugs was given a pardon because they destroyed all of the information from 2 years of hearings, and they should be arrested, but they were given pardons. Was he given a pardon, Mayorkas? Was he not?
I don't believe so.
Well, I'd take a look at that one, because what he did is it's beyond incompetence. Something had to be done. Now, with that being said, he took orders from other people, and he was really doing the orders, and you could say he was very loyal to them, because it must have been very hard for him to stand up and sit up and talk about what he allowed to happen to this country and be serious about it.
Say is officially satanic now, and this is what I need to show you. Laura Loomer posted this on X, and she's actually saying that alligator lives matter and that they will have 65 million meals now if they start now. So why did she say 65 million meals? Let's take a look at the Latino population in the United States, and what do we see? It's roughly 65 million people. So Laura Loomer is insinuating that they want to get rid of Latinos by feeding them to the alligators, basically. And since alligator Alcatraz is all over the news right now with its comparisons to concentration camps and disgusting way of holding people, do we even wonder anymore that our government has reached an all-time low now in hatred, vileness, disgusting, filthy rhetoric? I don't even know what to say anymore, guys, because it's become so horrible. It's just insane. I want to tell you, MAGA Christian, you cannot make an excuse anymore. You are without excuses. You are absolutely without excuses. You have to draw the line somewhere. You have to, because if you keep following this and supporting this, you will go to the lake of fire. I'm just telling you, you are not going to make it. Jesus is going to spit you out, and you are going to go to the lake of fire. You are going to burn in fire for the rest of eternity. If you do not step out, see what's happening here, repent, and fight what this regime is doing. If you are not completely disgusted and appalled by what this regime is putting out in hateful rhetoric, human despising hateful rhetoric. I mean, not even the Nazis did it to this degree, because the Nazis would cloak it in neutral language, because even they had some kind of shame. They knew what they were doing was shameful. They wouldn't even say it exactly that same way. But to actually say that they're going to feed Latinos to the alligators, that is an all-time low in humanity. So if you are still following Trump as a Christian, I have to ask you, are you even a Christian? You cannot be a Christian and follow this man. You cannot be a Christian and follow MAGA. You cannot support this anymore. Because if you are supporting this, you are not following Jesus. You are following a Jesus of your own making. You are following a Jesus of hatred, actually a satanic Jesus. That's a demon that you're following. That is not the biblical Jesus Christ. This is not the God of the Bible who will support any of this. You are following Satan, masquerading as Jesus and a savior, and all embodied in Trump. You need to step away from him now. You are in danger of your eternal souls. You will burn in hell in the lake of fire forever, my friend, if you do not repent and come out of this. I'm warning you. I'm warning you.
I profoundly hate Donald Trump, and I have vowed to use the rest of my life, the rest of my spiritual and mental momentum in this life and every future life to come, to hold Donald Trump and every one of his goddamn supporters, everyone that's working for ICE right now, everyone in his government, hold them all accountable. We must maintain our sanity. We cannot give in to the hatred. We cannot give in to the lies. When we feel that hatred, that is the moment we pause and we reflect on our vow and we maintain our sanity. We remain wide open like the sky and as solid as the goddamn earth. And we stand on that foundation. One day, and I don't know when, and what I do know is that over the next year, you are going to see more hatred, more evil, more cruelty unleashed by these motherfuckers than we have ever seen in all of human history. Because they know their time is up. They know how unpopular Donald Trump is. They see the polling data. They know what he has brought into existence, and they are on the hook for his actions. And they are going to do everything to prevent us from taking power. And I am ready to die for this cause. They will kill me. I am certain of that. I don't care. I am ready. I will find them in my next life, and I will hold them accountable then. And I'm asking you to do the same. Hold these motherfuckers accountable. Make sure they go to prison and they sit in a cell and reflect on their poor choices. Accountability isn't for us, it's for them. They have lost their goddamn minds supporting Donald Trump. What radicalized me was the little boy in the courtroom who peed himself because an evil fucking ICE officer, kidnapper, lifted his shirt and showed him his gun to scare that little 6-year-old boy. And then they put that little boy in those little plastic wristbands, and they made him sit there soiled clothing, and they didn't give him a change of clothing. And when I heard that goddamn story, my life doesn't matter. The only thing that matters from now on, from in this life and every life to come, is justice for that little boy. These ICE officers, Donald Trump, Stephen Miller, Kristi Noem, Tom Homan, RFK, every one of these motherfuckers goes to prison. Kash Patel, they're gonna rot forever. They sit there and they can transform their minds. They couldn't do it with the rest of us. No. They allowed their minds to be co-opted by evil, by ignorance, by disinformation. So we put them away in their little cell and let them reflect.
Whoever does it, I hope they do like all of them at once rather than just the one. I mean, the one would be great, but like every one of them, like all at the same time, that would be way better. Just like as like a group discount or something, you know what I mean?
We have big news right now. Donald Trump is now calling for deporting American citizens next. This is serious, and he just made this statement. Speaking in Florida, Donald Trump called for the deportation of U.S. citizens, saying we have a lot of bad people that have been here for a long time. Many of them were born in our country. I think we ought to get them the hell out of here too, if you want to know the truth. So maybe that'll be the next job. Trump here is referring to American citizens who commit violent crime, and is now saying that people who whack others across the head with a baseball bat should be deported, even if they're American citizens. There is no basis in the United States Constitution or in law that would allow the President of the United States to deport American citizens to even prison facilities in third-party countries. Every American citizen is entitled to due process under the United States law in United States courts and serve time if convicted in United States facilities. Many of these individuals, yes, they may have committed a violent crime, but no, they're not going to spend the rest of their lives in prison. They will be rehabilitated. It doesn't seem like he cares. So spread the word and follow along for more.
I just want to start off by saying that I feel really weird doing this video, but I have to because last night God came to me and it's a lot. It's a lot. And I remembered it's like I remembered everything as God was explaining this to me. So God explained to me that Black people are the chosen people. Why? Because Black people have had to stand up to authorities more than anyone. And if you think about what that means, standing up to authorities isn't really fighting them. It's telling them, hey, like, you're not treating me right. You're not above me, right? It's another way of saying God created all of us equally. And that's the truth. If you think about it, the government authorities, they're not above you. They're just playing a role. They're wearing a costume. But true freedom, which is what we were created with, is such that everyone is on an equal playing field. If you removed the systems, the government, we're all equal. No one is above you. No one is below you. And so that's why Black people are the chosen people, because they've had to do that more than anyone. And what else was I shown? Man, there was so much, you guys. But they showed me why Black people love Jesus is because Jesus doesn't need praise. Jesus just came as a messenger, as God, to tell people that Black people are the chosen people. Basically, Jesus came here to tell the people. He didn't want any credit. He just wanted to tell people Black people are the chosen people. So, yeah, I remembered all of this last night, and it was a lot. But that's what's happening today. Sorry, there's one more thing that God told me last night that I almost forgot. God told me that Jesus's soul is like black. It's like a black person. Because Jesus stands up to authorities too. And so the soul of Black people and the soul of Jesus is the same. And so Jesus comes as a messenger to tell the people, trust me, I don't know why I'm the one getting this information, but Jesus comes to tell the people that Black people are the chosen ones. That their soul is the closest thing to God, because God wants people to know that they're free, that that's their birthright, that your birthright is to stand up to authorities and be like, hey, you're not above me. We're brothers. Like, we're the same. We're equals. So yeah, that's all. I love you.
TikTok, this is a message from Anonymous Collective. You have blocked and banned millions of TikTok accounts for speaking up the truth and for people that have stood up for them that could not stand up and protect themselves. Let us remind you for what Anonymous is standing up and fighting for, as it is clear that you think you can stop us from our cause. You can ban us, delete our accounts. You can ghost our posts, but you will never stop us. You cannot stop an idea. We will keep on showing up as we have always done over the years. You have created an enemy of Anonymous, and this is not a threat, as we do not believe in threats. We are Anonymous, the notorious hackers, but rather prefer the name Online Guardians, to protect them who cannot protect themselves. Your actions against us will result in a full-on cyber war against TikTok itself. You need to stop blocking our accounts for violation of accounts that is standing up for them that need to be protected, and let us speak the truth of what is going on in this beloved world of us. Our voices needs to be heard across all nations. We are Anonymous. We do not forgive. We do not forget. We are Legion. Expect us.
I don't know what elected official out there needs to hear this, but if you are one, I hope you're paying attention, because if you haven't figured it out yet, the people are fucking pissed. And now a lot of y'all out there might be either too scared to speak up, not willing to, or think that your best option is just to ride this out quietly and see where you try and land on the other side. But I assure you that is a miscalculation, because if you sit back and do nothing as these fucking fascists destroy this country, I promise you, you will burn with all of us, because the people of this country are not just gonna sit back and watch while you guys do fucking nothing. And I'm talking to all elected officials too, regardless of party. And I don't give a fuck, because when this shit's all over, y'all gonna wanna be able to say that you fought for what was right and you stood up for the Constitution. So y'all need to do something, because we are watching. And this time's not going to last, and there will be a complete reckoning by the people afterwards. So y'all need to stand up for the Constitution and the people you represent, or we're going to find others that will.
They built a concentration camp in Florida, and they're selling merch. They built a place where Donald Trump wants to send Americans to after stripping them of their citizenship to concentrate them in a camp. and they're selling merch. The American government is building modern concentration camps that they are preparing to send American citizens to who disagree with the current regime, and they're selling merch. What?